Thanks, Des. I'd add to the advice from an MS nurse advisor is another good option. So MS Connect is only ever a phone call away, and that's the 1800 number, so a free call as well. They're great. So one of my areas that I look after is the peer support program. So I've got 5 minutes to tell you about a wonderful initiative that I'm also going to do a show of hands in a minute. The Tasmanian TeleGroup project. Has anybody heard of the TeleLinks? Anybody involved in the new TeleLinks? I see a hand. I see another hand. I see some presenters. I see some participants. Earlier this year, we were really fortunate to receive some funding from the Tasmanian Community Fund to provide some programs by telephone. So if you've had a little chat with Ange in any of the breaks, you'd be aware of our peer support program that's offered individually, one-on-one by phone, or through groups that meet together in various locations. And more recently, we've started some groups that meet by telephone because we recognise that there are a number of reasons why people might not be able to come to a group, and one of those might purely be location. If you're the only person living in your entire area, it's unlikely that we'll form a group. But by phone, you can connect with people no matter where they are. So Telegroups have been a really great new initiative in the last 12 months. And the other thing that we have been doing almost in conjunction, but sometimes prior to a telegroup, is a program called a TeleLink. Gets really confusing with all the tellies and we get ourselves mixed up all the time. But a TeleLink is a short-term program. So they're 6 weeks long, so you're not signing up forever. You're signing up for 6 weeks, and each week there's a guest speaker. So it very much for me, in my role, I see it crossing over between my education team and the peer support team to provide a bit of both. So some of those guest experts are people like our nurse advisors, psychologists. Nicola Graham is one of our educators. You might see emails from her. Nairi, who's our next speaker. Simone Vandenberg is an exercise physiologist, also a nutritionist. Belinda Saunders, we use the members of the Employment Support Service, physios, we've got lawyers on board and NDIS experts as well. So a whole range of people that come together to give you direct individual information. So this project that's running until March next year started with us sending out 820 invitations. So hopefully all of you in some form or another have at least heard about the program. So there were emails sent out, there were hard copy versions in the mail, we even tried text messaging. That's a bit new for us, so we're not sure if you liked that or not, but we sent text messages. It's been in the Tassie newsletter, it's been in the In Touch newsletter, and my aim today is to get everyone involved in a TeleLink, because we're running TeleLinks for everybody. We're running them for women, we're running a TeleLink for men, we're running a TeleLink for over 65s, young women, or every demographic that you could think of, there'll be one that will suit you. Recently diagnosed, carers, whatever it is, and if there's something that is not on the list and you think, actually, I'd like this one, let us know and we'll set up a TeleLink for that group of people. So we really want to make them informative, real and practical and helpful to you. So it's all about what you would need. There was something else I was going to say. I'm just going to go back to that last slide. That was the bit I was going to remember. These programs have also been so well supported by our volunteers who might give you a call and say, hey, there's a program starting next week. We'd really love it if you could join in. That's a great person to ask a few more questions. So if you're hesitant in any way about joining in, ask the question, get a bit more advice on what it's about, and ask Ange and I today as well. So they've been fabulous programs, haven't they, Ange? They have. I've caught her with a mouthful. So I really hope that by the end of today, everyone's encouraged to participate in a program by telephone because it's really easy. Thank you all very much.